When I was doing my women's empowerment work in India, there was one lady who contacted me. She was in her mid-20s working on her PhD as a researcher at the university. She was in an arranged marriage with a man who was a high school graduate. Her family chose that man for her because they said he was from a good family, meaning they had a good reputation and a good financial situation. They had a business. They weren't rich, just middle class. Her father dismissed her education, saying she only pursued it because she wasn't married yet. He didn't see his daughter, as an intelligent, highly accomplished academic. Anyway, she got married and moved into her husband's house. In India, men are usually expected to continue living with their parents to take care of them in their old age. So she moved into a joint family. India is a hierarchical society. Men are the ones who control the women, and then there is a hierarchy in terms of age. The oldest is superior to the youngest. As a woman entering her husband's home, she was at the bottom of the hierarchy, so she had to serve his entire family and take orders from her mother-in-law. Maybe this situation worked in ancient India, but it rarely works now because women today are educated and capable of so much more than household duties. Furthermore, they would make decisions for her, from what she wore to how she behaved and what she did daily. First, she wasn't allowed to wear Western clothes. She had to wear traditional clothing like a sari, and she had to keep her head covered at all times, even while cooking. Okay, she did it. Then she wasn't allowed to go to her job at the university or continue her PhD because they said there was no need for her to work or study. Her job was to be a wife and a daughter-in-law, do housework and have babies. This situation, of course, would not work for her. She was intelligent and educated, and his family was not. Additionally, the way they treated her was not right, and problems started. It got really messy, involving violence and police. Because of this, she left their home, and that was when she contacted me. At the time, I was partnering with an Indian lady lawyer, so I put her in touch to speak with her. They spoke and the situation got better. It was more optimistic, I could say. As she was now at her family home, she went back to her job and continued her PhD. But the family she was married into demanded she came back to them. She didn't want to return, but her father wanted to send her back. So my partner, the lady lawyer, started talking to her father because I didn't speak Hindi and he didn't speak English. What the father was saying shocked me to the core. The father kept saying things like, "What will I do with a divorced daughter? It's my bad luck that I had a daughter," and things like that. He didn't care that his daughter was being abused. He didn't care that she was intelligent and she could make a living on her own. Those things weren't important to the father. What mattered was how things had always been done and how society expected it to function. According to him, she had to go back regardless of whether they abused her or not. She just had to be quiet and comply with their demands, and they would treat her better eventually. Since we couldn't get through the father, we decided to try to convince the girl to take her life into her own hands, refuse to go back, and find people to help her get out of there and start life on her own. But she couldn't do that. It wasn't because she wasn't strong or intelligent. It was because the validation of society or her father was more important to her than her own validation and well-being. All these invisible strings were keeping her trapped. In the end, we had to let go and step back because we couldn't help someone who wouldn't help herself. I don't know what happened in the end. But we have to understand that we are not actually free until we stop expecting validations from our parents, society, and whoever else. Let me tell you another story in the Western world. My father got remarried, and at that time he visited his mother. He introduced his wife as his girlfriend because he knew his mother wouldn't approve of his marriage or validate his choice, so he lied. When he traveled back to where he was living, he lived abroad, he took his wife, of course. One day, his mother called on the landline, and back then you couldn't see who was calling. His wife answered, and his mother, shocked, said, "Sanda," that was his wife's name, "what are you doing there?" His wife wanted to take advantage of the situation and set things straight, said, "I'm his wife." and all hell broke loose. At that time, my father was a 40-year-old man and still wanted his mother's validation because he knew he wouldn't get it. He lied. At his age and the level of maturity, he was still afraid of what his mother would think, and he didn't want to disappoint her because he still needed her validation. The moral of these stories is that sometimes our hands are tied to invisible chains, and most of the time these chains are the need to not disappoint others, the need to not disappoint society, our parents, our loved ones. All these invisible chains stop us from taking actions or living the life we truly want to live. We think so much about what society says, what my family would think, and what my friends will say, that we don't take action in the direction we want or the direction we know it's right for us. I want you to take this video as food for thought and think about where are you limiting your actions and why you do that, because I'm sure you do it. We all do it. So I repeat the question, where do you limit your actions and why? Think deeply about it. Hi, I'm Roxandra. See you tomorrow.